Hello there. So what I'm going to be talking about today is GPS, because I'm going to be doing a series of videos on navigation and map reading, and I don't want to come across as a Luddite because I'm going to be looking at the more traditional methods of navigation, map and compass, and how to use those. But I think it's important to talk about GPS as well. So what I'm going to do early on is get that out of the way and prove to you that I do actually like GPS. I'm not against it, but it's an aid to navigation, not a replacement. Now at the end of this, what I'm going to show you is a little tip on how to get the best possible and cheapest GPS in the palm of your hand. Bye bye now. So what I'm going to talk about first is my relationship with GPS and how long I've been using it. It goes back a long time. When I was serving in the military, in the army, in the former Yugoslavia, we were issued with a device called Trimble. If I can find a picture of it, actually I'll put it up here somewhere. And Magellan, and again I'll put a picture of it up here somewhere. Now I am pretty sure without those GPS devices, my experience out there in the former Yugoslavia would have been quite different. Alright, we absolutely depended on it. And that may make some purists grimace a little bit, but when you're going across a minefield area and it's completely snowed out and it's white out, you're in the lap of the gods. Now fortunately, when I was going across this plateau, several vehicles in the convoy or packet, each one of the markers had been snowed out, and we had to depend on GPS exact coordinates, and that's how my introduction to it in big time was. So on return from the former Yugoslavia, unfortunately when we were out there, the GPS systems they had, the Trimble and the Magellans, which were a general issue, were in an abundance. Yeah, and sometimes you go to sign one out from the stores, you know, whoever's holding them, and you know they weren't available. It's just how it was. So I bought myself very early on a Magellan. This is really old. It's the Magellan 3000. A really old boy, like that. Basic screen, which is good coordinates. Yeah, and that was enough. If I found myself in that situation again, where it's in a dodgy area, I could be bang on. I wasn't really concerned about map reading. I wanted the exact coordinates of any potential danger, and that would give me them. Yeah. Oh, what I've just found is just to prove my relationship with GPS. At the back is also an old compass I have, which is in mils, which is the military system, which is far more accurate than the degrees which you see on the civilian compass. Alright, never knew I had that. What else have I got in here then? Oh, a little roamer like that. That would have gone in my Filofax for measuring distance on the ground. I never knew I had them. Nice find. Okay, so that's what I got. It cost me a fortune back in the day. I don't know if it still works. I'm going to have to boot it up one of these days and have a look at it. Okay, I think I'll do that later. I might show you. So, the old one, I'll put a picture up here somewhere so you can see it in a bit more detail. But that's my earliest one. Now, do I use GPS today? You better do. But I use it in such a way that if I'm out navigating and maybe we've gone slightly off course, and it happens. It happened last weekend. Was on Crossfell. We're coming off, we got transfixed and ended up wandering off route, which can happen even with the best navigators. That is not a problem. Not being able to sort it out is the problem. Okay, so if you ever find yourself lost, you haven't failed. You failed if you can't sort it out, which we did very quickly and got back on course. But I didn't have this one with me, this old boy, which is a sat map. I can't remember which version of it is. It's the latest version. It's quite a big Active 20. Yeah, it's quite a big one. I don't know why my screen keeps going off. It's quite chunky, but when I bought that, it's not cheap. Okay, it's got all of UK mapping in a 50k and 25k scale. Alright, and it's the business. I am confident that will find me anywhere. And like I said, I don't use that to get me from A to B. I use that, it's like someone tapping on my shoulder. It's confirmation you bang on there, Mick, and without blowing my own trumpet, I usually am. Because I've been at it for years. So I do like GPS. Okay, they're great kit. It's moving with the times. They're an aid to navigation. They're not navigation, full stop. Okay, so I said at the beginning, what I'll do, I'll show you probably the cheapest way of getting the GPS in your hand. Now, many people nowadays use their phones, smartphones with the GPS, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but unfortunately, you can lose battery power very quickly. Very quickly. And I believe it's one of the biggest call outs now, where people are totally reliant on the phone to get from A to B in various wild places in the UK, and it dies on them, and they're just clueless where they are and end up getting lost. I'm pretty sure that's one of the major call outs now for mountain rescue and search and rescue, those sort of people. So if you rely totally on a smartphone, you could use it for comms, photographs, videos, everything else, and then you know, you could end up in a bad place very quickly. So my little tip is, you're gonna like this. Okay, so you've got yourself a nice cheap phone like this. Now this has got an extended battery pack. Remember the phones, you could have battery packs on them, you could change the batteries. Yep, you can do all that with this. You can have spare batteries, you can have this massive power pack on the back. It'll last for days. And then on that, you need some software, or an app as they call it nowadays. Now what I recommend is using OS, that's Ordnance Survey, Locate. And what that will give you is a, I think it's a 6 or 8 or even a 10-figure grid reference. You can have an option there, and that'll tell you where you're bang on. Now by using OS Locate and just using the grid reference, which I'll go on to in later videos, what it'll do is encourage you to use the map. Yeah, your map will always tell you, your map will always be correct. You never run out of power. So use that in relationship with your map. Don't use it as a standalone navigation. If you do, it's your choice, yeah, but I recommend you don't. Now you can also take that a step further if you wish and use OS Maps. You can download your route to the phone, it'll pinpoint you, and you also get a map which you then can cross-refer to your paper map. So it's a really cheap way of having GPS. It works, and it works well. So there you go. So by having a dedicated phone rather than using your normal smartphone every day or every time, that battery power has got more chance of lasting the full length of your trip, even a full weekend or maybe even a full week. Yeah, spare batteries, can't go wrong. You're not using it for photographs, you're not using it for comms, you're not using it for video. You can disable all that, just keep the GPS up and working. Rock solid. What I wanted today, just get it out of the way very early on. I'm not a Luddite. I think GPS is great, it's got its place, and it's just an aid to navigation, not replacement. That's my view. I think quite a few others may share it. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully the next video I'll be out somewhere in the hills or the mountains and doing the stuff we prefer to be doing. Okay then, bye for now.